Yeah, Vinay. I mean, look, when you look at the job market as a triangle, when you lose your job and you're looking for another one, they don't happen right away. They're not readily available. You might have to bide your time for many, many months. It was during the pandemic. I was still angling for my job. I took a job at a country club. If you get moved out of a position, you're already at near that tip of that pyramid. You sometimes have to go down further on that pyramid. You have to take those lower paying jobs. And I do believe that I'm really glad that this article is kind of pointing that out, the same level that they were doing before. I'd be happy to hear your thoughts, Vinay.
Yeah, so I agree with everything that you've said. This is really important. I know that you know about my first book, my book that was called Your Future in Pieces, which actually hit in 2019. It was a top 10 in 4 categories on Amazon. So top 10 Amazon bestseller. I was describing this phrasing of this underemployment, the growth of underemployment. But I love that this article has called it fractionally unemployed, underemployed American worker. And I think this is really eye-opening because if it's not talked about, it goes away. Ultimately, the rate of unemployment is because of the lack of dependable, good-paying jobs. We're going to get into solutions, of course. And before we get into other things, I think it's important because you've got something that ties directly into this for our audience, so we can talk about that before we can actually conclude.
Yeah, but I found this article really, really helpful. Great wait for work. Whereas almost 1/4 of unemployed people remain jobless after 6 months. It's even worse for some different demographics. We don't track unemployment generally beyond 26 weeks. And it's even worse down here for those, for men between the ages of 45 and 64. The average time is a little more than 8 months. What types of bills and the responsibilities they have? They're generally ages where they have a spouse, they might have children, they might have children in college. That severance, that unemployment is not able to keep them up for this long of a period of time. And with that comes a tremendous amount of, again, economic, psychological, mental well-being stress. With this and the work that we do on ICT, how do we continue to raise these alarms, these red flags that are occurring? How do we get to more unemployment if that hopefully is the case? I think your take was a very sobering one, and that is that these people that are out of a job, there's nowhere for them to go. If there's nowhere good to go that's comparable to where they were before, can they go down that pyramid and work for another job? And for how long can they do that before getting back up to where they need to be? And is that even possible right now with the lack of good quality jobs being created in the economy today?